Alright, looks like we're about to get into it. First map's going to be Vermeer. It's going to be a battle for the ages between these two titans in the industry. We have spawning in the top left as the game is bugged. Never mind. What? Game is bugged? Huh?
Alright, Tasteless is up 1-0. It's better than you guys think that Tasteless will take it.
That's a quick 1-0 lead for the Protoss Apes. One of the fastest wins in recorded history in StarCraft. Tasteless showing some very fierce competition there, managing to somehow win the game psychologically in the first few seconds.
I think our boys, he's just ready to play.
Make a game, please. This is all just psychological mind games from Lovesnow to make Tasteless uncomfortable before the match. He's a bit antsy in his chair, like, come on, I just want to get into the game, man.
I mean, Snow did this to me during our King of the Tiers as well. By the time we finally got our last game going, I was so irritated by all the wait time.
Tasteless just wants to start, and Lovesnow's over here with his like finger puppet show and stuff. Well, clicking on your command center is a useful skill to have. Go, go, go. It looks like both players are ready. Here we go.
Hey, what's up, Gino and Mouse?
This is for all the marbles.
All the marbles.
Spawning in the top left as the pink Terran. Lovesnow. And his opponent, none other than Nick Tasteless Plot as the yellow Protoss. Both players, no doubt, practiced rather extensively for this matchup. Nick's a little bit on the busier side, you know, casting Valorant games on the weekend and whatnot. Bit of a weird, flexible schedule he's got to follow to keep up his line of work. So I'm hoping he's managed to squeeze in enough hours of practice to deal with this absolute powerhouse of the NA Terran's last hope, that is Lovesnow.
So, have you watched Tasteless play much?
I've watched Tasteless like a little bit, yeah, like here
Yeah.
and there.
I know in general he's a cheesy player, but I wonder if we'll see like any 12 Nexus plays or anything like that on these larger maps like this.
I'm sure we're going to see both. I'm sure we're going to see like some like more standard-y looking games that go to carriers. I'm sure we're going to see some very cheesy games as well. I would not be surprised if Lovesnow also decides to throw his plan out the window and do like a 2-fact on one game as well. Like I'm sure that's a possibility. Looks like Lovesnow is spamming his absolute heart out right now with 800 APM. Like,
I wonder if this is a little bit of nerves, huh?
Like, fingers like dancing across the keyboard like a maniac right now. Alright, so going to be a fast gas, nothing out of the ordinary from both players. Lovesnow taking his gas on 12, kind of a nice little midway, you know. You're getting the gas early enough to deal with aggression and be able to put on pressure, but not so early that you're cutting SEVs and taking a hit to your economy.
It's going to be a first scout for Tasteless as well. Pretty good for him. And this is going to be really important because if Snow wants to go for like an early timing, and we keep this probe alive and we're kind of monitoring, we could see how much gas mining is going on.
Right.
We swapped to... Yeah, they didn't host TVB, unfortunately. So I can't do blue-red. I'll tell them after this game that we can do that.
Marine just now starting for Snow. I wonder if we're going to be seeing that initial Zealot out of Tasteless, or if he'll just be going straight into Dragoon production.
And here we see it. Tasteless is kind of keeping out how much gas mining is, so he sees the gas get pulled off here, and that's all he was looking for.
Yeah, then he knows there's like no 2-fact shenanigans or anything else. Like that could be pretty aggressive or very tech heavy.
I'm interested to see because Snow actually messaged me saying that he was going to go for a 2-fact in game 1. And Doesn't look like that's what we're doing.
Maybe he didn't trust you and he just wanted you to like message Tasteless some false information.
That's true. Maybe he didn't believe I was actually rooting for him for once.
Yeah.
Green did try to chase the probe pretty far here.
Yeah, Lovesnow is still just mining 1 on gas, so he's going to be throwing down this command center very shortly. 1 Dragoon is out now, and Tasteless also going to be wanting to start his own Nexus. The SEV actually going to be poking in at the perfect time to check for that as well. Going to be seeing the probe there, waiting to throw down the Nexus right on time.
This also gives Snow a little bit of comfort, because it means we can skip the bunker for a little bit, because he knows the Goon is at home chasing the SEV.
Exactly. Yeah, and he also doesn't need to... Yeah, that should enable him to kind of moonal optimize a little bit here. But he'll still need to eventually build that bunker, because eventually there'll be 3 Dragoons at his door, and he'll only have a Vulture and a couple of Marines, so he will need to start making the bunker fairly soon. Which he will do now.
Very
build
standard.
time of the bunker is really quick though, right? About the distance that it takes for the Dragoon to walk from the natural to the bunker is about how long it takes to make the bunker. So as long as he's starting that bunker before the Dragoons have already gone and lived. But this Dragoon actually taken quite a lot of shield damage already.
Yeah, you walked forward to confirm the CC.
Yeah. It's really important to do that. You're really happy to sacrifice some bit of shields just to check that the CC is actually there. Because for he knows there could be a starport with a dropship being made right now, or 2 factories behind this. He needs to doubly make sure that this is what Lovesnow's actually doing. There's this probe just chilling out here at this 3rd base location, like he was considering maybe like throwing down some tech there, like a Robo or something.
Yeah, a little bit suspicious. Obviously, we're not checking for a 3rd here, because it's going to be a while before Tin would be looking for a 3rd, so this definitely is an interesting probe position.
It could just even be a mind game, though, right? Like, he just wants to make him think that he's going to do something cheesy like that, when really he's just going to go all nice and standard.
Up to a pretty quick 3-gate. Is this quick, or is my 3-gate just slow? Because I almost always take a 3rd off of 2.
It's a little quick. It's a little quick. 3-gate range expand observer is about as standard as you can play. Like, this is like the standard of standard openings. It's like the most safest thing you can do. It's not necessarily good against anything. It's not necessarily bad against anything. It's very middle of the roady. So he's going to be getting a later 3rd, but he's not going to die to anything. He's going to have a decent amount of Dragoons that he can fight with going into the early mid game. So there's a few things going for him doing this build. At the very least, he's going to be able to hit all his notes, and maybe this is the game that he wants to go carriers in. If he's doing this kind of really safe standard opening to maybe feel out Snow and feel out like where he stands skill-wise against him, he wants to like make sure he guarantees his survival going into the mid game and maybe set himself up for a 3-base carrier.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised that game 1 is just going to be like really standard so far from both sides. But I kind of like it. I think it is kind of like what you're saying there. It's a little bit of feeling each other out. So both people playing standard to start. It's just we're playing comfortable right now. We're feeling each other out. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I think he just didn't want to risk like doing anything too like cheesy in the game 1 and botching it, and then like I think he just wants to get a feel for where he is with Snow in just a straight up game first.
I really like the turret placement.
Yeah, really nice turret placement from Snow here. Really cognitive placement.
Yeah, it totally baits the observer to try and get through there. Yeah,
look at the mine placement as well. Like, I really like Snow's setup generally here. Like, he's pretty much prepared for anything. But Tasteless has got like 6 Dragoons coming up here with an observer, so he's going to start containing Snow. I don't think this Vulture will... Ooh, maybe he just barely sneaks out. That's actually huge for Snow. Just having this 1 Vulture out on the map is like huge. There's so much scouting information and pressure on Tasteless not knowing, oh, he's going to lose a Dragoon. Okay, this is going really well for Snow so far.
Very good. Yeah, picked up a Dragoon. All we lost was 1 mine, a little bit of damage on the bunker, and like you said, we got the scout off here, so you see the 3rd base coming down. So Snow knows exactly what his position is right now.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to finally target down this probe at the wall at the 3rd as well. It's nice that he got that.
It is going to be Reaver from Tasteless, so just, again, more standard play, I think, at this point.
Snow told me that he's going to be scouting the entire map against Tasteless and leaving nothing up for chance.
That's
So
good.
I'm hoping we're going to see some exceptional scouting from Snow in the series.
He does have a tendency to assume things and not confirm things, so
Yeah, going
that'd
up
be
to
good to
fourth.
see.
Look at this from Snow. He's got the early third CC, and then he's going to go straight into fourth fact from there. He's got the starport as well. Like, look at this setup from Snow. He's gearing up really nicely for the mid game. And he's not even taking the third right away. He's just keeping this CC in the main base to make SCVs. This is so good theory from Snow right now. He's learned so much over these last few days. And he's keeping Tasteless in the dark. Like,
Yeah.
no observer got in. No observer got in. He has no idea what's going on right now. Like, this is really good metagaming from Snow and really great control over the game state. Tasteless is going to have to be careful that Snow does just outmaneuver and outmuscle him in his first game.
And see, even here we scanned to confirm the third base, right? He wanted to make sure that it was actually here, and we also scanned here and we see Reavers. So Snow basically knows everything that he needs to know right now.
Oh, look at that though. The Templar tech comes out right after the scan finished, so he doesn't know about the Templar archives just yet. But it's one thing that could throw him off. Some storm drops or something could be huge. Like, just one good storm drop on a mineral line could really throw Snow off his game. Okay, so we're going to start leapfrogging our tanks towards the third. He's decided that 6 tanks is about the right amount to start this process of slowly creeping himself forward and taking this position as safely as possible. There is a shuttle out now, so there is some counterplay options for Tasteless, maybe Zealot bombing on top of these tanks.
There's a little bit of an opening here as well. He has a Reaver at least in here.
Yeah, just one Reaver's not super scary, but if he does get 2 Reavers in that shuttle, he will be able to slow down pretty much any aggression that Snow throws at him anytime soon, and maybe even pick off some tanks. Could be huge. 10-minute fourth base from Tasteless, I'd say that's about perfect. Like, right on time. Like, any later, maybe it'd be a little bit too slow. I would say this is very reasonable from Tasteless taking it at this point.
The supply right now looks really good for Snow, though.
It does. It's actually kind of scary because Snow's been able to just grow uncontested, and Tasteless has like no idea where he even stands in the game right now. Whereas Snow has got pretty much full intel and knows exactly where he stands in the game right now. Now Snow does have a proclivity to kind of like misjudge what he should do with his understanding of the game state. So we'll see if he can actually execute this correctly. There is a shuttle and Reaver here to maybe do a little bit of harassment, but with Snow's setup, I don't see him doing much. Like, the turrets are really nicely placed, the tanks haven't creeped out of position. Ooh, these vultures in the bottom right going to be denying this expansion
Really
down
good.
here too. There's another probe coming. If he kills that as well, oh, Tasteless doesn't want to lose this probe. He needs to pull this probe back. Oh no, if he loses this probe as well. Oh, okay, that's...
Already had another one on the way, though.
Don't worry, guys. We had another probe back up.
It's like he knows. He knows they're gonna die.
Look at the vulture split. Look at the vulture split from Snow. He wants to kill this probe. Tasteless knows that he needs to make this nexus somewhere else now. This is enough. There's some more vultures coming down.
This is really, really good by Snow. Looking to deny the next probe coming.
He's being really proactive right now on the map. Meanwhile, his macro is in full swing, and he's spending his money. Like, typically, Snow would be banking up a lot of money at this point in the game usually, but he's macroing pretty good. Tasteless is trailing behind. He's got this fourth base up and running now, so if the game state stays the same for a while longer, maybe Tasteless can start to claw his way back in the game economically, especially if this fifth goes up. But right now, Snow's looking pretty good.
Snow wants it bad, he does. This is really, really solid play from Snow right now.
It's, yeah, really, really, really solid play. Look at these factories!
Got our 2-1 on the way as well.
There's like 9 factories. How many gateways does Tasteless have right now?
This is 5-9 as well. Yeah, 9.
No, okay, so you got the same amount of gateways to factories. That does not for a very good game make as far as Protoss are concerned. You want to have a lot more gateways than factories.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that might change soon, because once Tasteless starts getting set up in this bottom right quadrant of the map, he's going to be able to start making another rally point of gateways here as well, especially if he wants to stay on like more gateway man style. If he wants to go carriers, he's going to have to do it soon, I think. So I'm curious if he's going to do that. I'm curious if he's going to just start plopping down a crap ton of gateways and go more gateway man style, or if we're going to see like the carrier switch soon. He's got the infrastructure to do either of those things.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to throw down... Okay, there's a Stargate now.
There's the Stargate. There's the Stargate. Now, I told Snow that it's very likely that Tasteless will do a good job at like semi-hiding his Stargates, but he probably won't bother like hiding a core. So like just to scan for his core to see if the weapons grade is spinning to check for the carrier switch. I wonder if he'll be scanning for that this game. Nice High Templar pick up with the vultures.
Ooh, and another one.
Oh my God, Snow's playing so good right now.
And we scan ahead to see if we can go in. Unfortunately, it was right as the rally gets here, so no probe kills.
But it might... Oh, he's trying to get in anyway. I'm getting some... Wow. If he gets this mine off, if he gets these mines off, if he gets these mines off... Holy shit.
Oh no.
Holy shit.
Our 2-1 just finished
Snow.
as well. I think we're going to unsiege and go, huh?
Snow's playing like a fucking monster right now.
He's playing really, really well. I mean,
He's even got another CC on the way.
We're maxed right now. It's going to be Arbiter tech, not Carrier tech. So yeah, we're 2-1. We're unsieged. We're maxed, and we have a bigger bank than Tasteless even right now. So this push is going to be really, really scary.
And he's been sniping a lot of High Templars, so he hasn't got that many High Templars to storm. And usually that's the one thing that Snow struggles against is like mass blankets of storm as he's trying to like move his army through them. So I think now that there's not that much storm available for Tasteless, maybe he can crush this mostly Zealot Goon army.
Yeah, just see the 2 Templar here right now. I don't know what's loaded in the shuttles exactly. We know there's 1 Reaver, but that's all I know of for sure. It could be Templar.
Oh, so Tasteless now setting up the extra gateway infrastructure in the bottom right of the map. It might be a little too late if Lovesnow decides to go soon. He is inching his way down to the southern threshold now on the high ground.
The command center.
Yeah, he's taking the 4th base at the 9 o'clock location so he can defend and attack at the same time. It's a great line of expansion for him to take. And look how many tanks he's got.
Yeah, this is pretty terrifying looking. We're not starting 3 attacks, so we will be on 2-1 for a while here, but this push looks really, really powerful.
Look how slow and methodical Snow's like inching his way down south as well. He's not like... Okay, so
sending the counter.
Yeah, he's going for the full counter now. It's not usually a good idea to base trade with a Terran, but I guess Tasteless has decided there's no way he can engage this army without enough like splash damage or Arbiter support. So instead he's going to go for the huge counterattack, and Lovesnow is deciding to like turn around, and now he's kind of hesitating a little bit. Some of the forces staying at the front, or some of the tanks are turning around. This could be a huge mistake for Lovesnow if he doesn't send enough of his army back and tries to fight this army with half of what he's actually got. Maybe Tasteless can actually turn this whole game around right now. Ooh, look at these tanks all clumped up. He needs to be careful. One storm could just end all of these tanks' lives.
Yeah, this is...
Oh no, they're bugged out! The tanks are bugged out! The tanks are bugging out! Okay, there's quite a few goons here, but not a lot of zealots, and there is plenty of vultures to soak up these zealots. There is two good storms available and a D-matrix to save the tank. Okay, looks like Taste is just going to shuffle up into the main base. Oh, look at Snow. He's taking out the 6 o'clock nexus with some tanks. Okay, Tasteless is doing a pretty good job at trading off some of the rallied units right now, but I think overall Snow's coming out slightly ahead, especially with his units are also killing anything that Tasteless is sending out of his base right now.
Yeah, once Snow stabilizes, he has a huge bank behind us still, so like his production, unless he loses factories, right, his production's going to be great as long as we...
Oh, the storms are...
Ooh.
Oh my god, those storms are fucking insane. He's still storming. He's just storming his own units at this point, storming everything.
Yeah,
I just want some Archons.
That was a pretty sick play from Tasteless, so we did have 4 Templar loaded up in there. We killed 6 o'clock. This is getting cleaned up here.
Tasteless might start running... Snow's falling apart right now.
Yeah, this is actually kind of crazy. I can't believe...
He didn't scan for the army. This is the one thing I've been talking to him a lot about, is he needs to be scanning for this Protoss army so he doesn't just get outmaneuvered like this. And right now, Tasteless did a really fucking great maneuver of like pulling him out of position, and Snow did not react appropriately.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing as Terran in this position. Like, you want to fight the army when you're that huge, right? You're maxed out, you're 2-1. You want to fight, but yeah, Tasteless did a good job of just avoiding the army and counterattacking, and yeah, we're actually in a really, really good position for Tasteless all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's really rough for Snow to be in this position because he can't really dig himself out of this hole now. Like, there's just not a critical mass of units to keep trading efficiently. Like, Tasteless can just keep whittling him down. The command centers have started to fall. There's a stasis on the ramp now, so he's gonna have to, like... he won't even be able to mine without losing SEVs. Yeah, this is a really rough spot for Snow. It's not like it's an unwinnable position, but it's really rough. He did kill the 6 o'clock and the base on the left as well, so... but...
It's just not enough, I think.
yeah, it's just not quite enough damage to the infrastructure of the Protoss. The Protoss will recover quite easily from this.
Yeah, we're basically going to be on one mining base after all of this for Snow. We're going for a bit of a hidden expansion, but it's going to be scouted immediately.
Yeah, I mean, a ninja expansion would be like one way of coming back from a spot like this. Unfortunately, yeah, it just gets spotted right away.
The only thing is, Tasteless's probe count is really, really low. Because we're not sitting on very many probes here.
Yeah, but Snow's like barely mining right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely much worse for Snow.
And like, he's got a lot of unit congestion issues. All his units are bugged out on the ramp right now. Like, it's look at these units, dude. It's a party over at Lovesnow's base. Fitting them in like sardines. Everyone's invited. Alright, so huge floods of Zealots streamlining in now. There's barely any mines, so these Zealots are going to more or less get on top of the tanks uncontested. There's not enough vultures to circle them out. Meanwhile, the units are bugged out on the ramp, dude. This is absolutely tragic to watch. Ooh, Terran players, avert your gaze, because this is like X-rated stuff right now.
Yeah, that...
This is like revenge porn for anyone that's two-facted you.
That stasis was permanent damage to the Terran.
Yeah, not only does it like freeze your units, but it also bugs them out too. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Fucking wild, dude.
Dance all day.
Dance all day. Dance all day.
Terran problems, yeah.
They just won't do it.
That's too funny. Yeah, Snow's looking pretty dead. Just a really, really good counterattack from Tasteless, and just Snow not tracking the army and engaging the army as he needed to.
I really hope this doesn't shatter his confidence for the coming games, because that went from being so good to so bad really quickly.
It was the cleanest play I'd ever seen from Snow before.
Yeah.
Into a total disaster on the counterattack.
I wish he just sent his entire army back to defend. Like, why? Why
like,
split your army?
I know it's a pain, right? I get it. It's frustrating. Like, you've already walked across the map, you're starting to get set up, you've, like, inched forward all this time, but yeah, you have to come back and fight the army at that point.
But that's his fault for not scanning for it, right? Like, he should have scanned for that army to begin with, and that wouldn't have even happened. And then he should just be willing to just pull back in that position.
Well, he has 2 minerals and a dream, so this is very doable.
Oh, God. I would love to just be a fly on the wall in his room right now. I want to know what's going on in that guy's head. It's got 66 supply to 180.
But with proper drilling, this is doable.
Oh, he's given, like, Tasteless so much confidence in his first game now as well.
That's true.
Gonna be killing some probes in the bottom right. Like,
We're kind of hoping the Tasteless GG's off of this.
It won't happen, but oh, some High Templars as well. It's a nice little pickup, I guess. But we can just
Get
start
our
laying down
Stasises set up.
big stasis clumps. Yeah. Even with all this time to set up, he still had his tanks clumped up enough that 2 tanks could get stasis for 1. GG!
GG. Tasteless wins game 1. Crazy.
Alright.
Crazy.
Now, Snow did show some pretty good play up until that big blunder, so who knows? We might see a lot more stronger games coming out of Snow from then on. I'm hoping that that's going to revitalize him and make him want to try even harder.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get into his head too much, right? That's kind of like the only concern at this point for me. He played really solid, so as long as he stays mentally strong, just kind of fixes like a couple small things here and there, then continue playing how he is, and I still feel like we're in good shape.
He's got to scan for the army. Like,
absolutely.
He knows that he has to scan for the army when he's pushing. It's so important.
Yeah, and I think this is something we spoke about before earlier. Tasteless may not be like necessarily the best mechanical player, but I think his game knowledge, right? As someone that casts a lot of games and watches a lot of StarCraft, I think he has really strong game knowledge. So that was a really intelligent play to recognize that at that point in the game there was no way he could fight Snow's army head on. And going for a counterattack and making the game kind of ugly and sloppy at that point was definitely the best thing he could have done.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. He had mostly Zealots and Dragoons. He'd almost guaranteed lose if he tried to just engage that army head on.
For sure.
Especially the setup that Snow had, it was way too hard to engage.
I get that. I can feel that. I actually, before I got to know Snow, did not like him at all. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, we have spawning in the top right as the Brown Protoss. He's currently 1-0 up, showing a rather exceptional outmaneuver tactic in the last game. It's none other than Nick Tasteless plot. And his opponent, currently with his tail between his legs, trying to claw his way out of this desperate position that he's found himself in. He was playing like an absolute beast initially, but then he kind of turned into a little puppy dog. So let's see if he can find his teeth again. It's none other than Lovesnow as the Orange Terran. So, what do you reckon's going to happen in this game? Do you think Lovesnow's going to come back with a vengeance and like absolutely stomp Tasteless in this game, or do you think he's going to maybe be a little bit shaky after that performance?
Well, I'm interested to see. So we picked another like pretty large 4-player map, right? Poly Void. I'm curious if they both just go for the same style, right? Like, I feel like Snow knows he was playing well, knows he was playing really solid, and will probably try to go for the same thing, I feel, because he knows that he was in a winning position. I know he watched the replay, that's what he does. He's going to look at that game and kind of recognize what his mistake was. I'm sure he's aware that he needed to track the army. So I feel like he's going to try and do the same play. And I'm curious to see if Tasteless will play standard again, because kind of in the same like mindset, he kind of knows that he was in a losing position when he went for that counterattack.
Right.
Yeah, so,
yeah, that's what I'm really curious about too. I'm pretty sure that even though Snow kind of like lost in a kind of a horrific way, he actually probably felt really good about the game for a long time. So he probably is feeling quite confident if he can just play standard and like not get killed by anything crazy, that he could actually probably take this series quite competently. But that also might, like you say, be triggering Tasteless into thinking, I might need to rethink my strategy. If I just do like a straight up build, he might just like outmuscle me with that crazy push sort of timing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm curious. I think we're going to see some shenanigans from Tasteless. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, for sure. I think for sure we will.
Well, this time so far, nothing too out of the ordinary for both players. More or less the same opening we saw in game number 1. The SCV scout going to be getting into Tasteless space right away, actually. So nice for Lovesnow getting the first scout, whereas Tasteless going to be last scouting Lovesnow. So that's going to be a nice little small edge to Lovesnow in the early game.
We're not pulling up the gas. So I was actually wondering, I was just thinking, okay, we are now. But I'm actually wondering if we didn't go for the 2-fact because we were first scouted. It may have actually been an adjustment. So I was thinking we might go for a 2-fact here, but yeah, we're pulling off gas. So.
I don't think he would go 2-fact on a ramped map. I think he would do it on Sylphid because it's flat. I don't think he'll do it here.
That's a good point,
might.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we would see it on this map. It's possible that he would do something crazy like that just because it's like, oh, it's so bad that he won't suspect that I would do it, that it's good. But I don't think that's... If he does do that, I don't think it's wise either.
It's really, really bad in this positioning, too. Because, like, either you go up
Yeah.
this ramp or you go all the way around, which takes far too long, so...
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good on this map. Could be taking that CC at 20 supply before the factory's even finished, trying to squeeze that out as fast as possible. Going to be starting it before Tasteless's 23 Nexus, which is just about to start any second now. So Snow getting that command center down a little bit quicker than his Protoss counterpart, which is always a good sign. You never really want to have the Terran building his command center before your Nexus. You want it to be the other way around, ideally.
Yeah, so we got confirmation from Snow. So he knows this is a 23 Nexus based on the timing. So we don't really need to scout beyond that. I mean, you can, but like, there's not going to be anything coming down immediately behind that.
No, he won't. Like, now he can start robos and stuff, but
Yeah.
like until that point, there could be nothing else. So looks like he wants to throw down the robo. I think
That's what it looks like.
he would have thrown the Citadel already if he was going to do some craziness. So it's going to definitely be the robo. I think he just put it down now.
Big 50 damage. So I think we walked forward and confirmed the CC here again. I didn't see it, but
Yeah, it's always worth paying the price of most of your shields to just doubly make sure they are actually doing what they should do and take the command center, so there's nothing catches you off guard of a vulture drop or two-fact timing.
yeah, sometimes you have to be a little bit careful because if you step forward like that and you look away for a moment, they can unload and jump on top of your gun, depending on how many Marines they made. But yeah, we're pretty standard right now. Again, looks like.
Yeah, 3 Marines can quite competently kill a Dragoon.
I thought it was possible we might see a drop play out of Lovesnow because he does like his drops as well. And the positioning, I think, here isn't too bad for drop chip, but doesn't look like
What's
that's
he
what they're
making
going.
behind the minerals?
Armory. Very quick
Yeah,
armory.
yeah, okay, I'm liking the quick armory play.
So it tastes like cheese. Where's the cheese? I know, I'm kind of surprised so far.
Oh, well, maybe he's not been practicing much, and maybe he doesn't feel too confident executing lots of cheeses here. But I imagine he'll throw something out.
So far the game is looking pretty similar to the first game. We're going to push out and catch this Dragoon though, which is really nice.
Yeah, getting that Dragoon kill early is really huge for Snow.
Yeah, I think you're right. If he continues to win playing macro, he may just play that until he loses.
I imagine that's what Tasteless is thinking as well. I'm
Yeah.
just going to play the same way until it doesn't work, and then I'll maybe switch it up. So we're basically seeing the exact same thing we saw in game number 1 with the 3 gate range, Robo Observer, into third base. Pretty much the most safest, most standard way you can possibly play PvT.
Taking the Ford Nexus for a third. Interesting. I would have never personally gone for the mineral only towards the Terran.
I guess one of the thought processes is that he doesn't want to have to walk too far to defend these. Like if he took like 3 o'clock for example, not only is there 2 ramps, but it's quite far to defend, and if he's like wanting to put on pressure and he has to keep running his goons back and forth, then maybe he just decides that this is a better expansion path for him to take. I think it's quite common on this map for a lot of Protosses to take their third there.
Interesting.
A lot of styles seem to like it.
Got the hidden turret here. The Observer might fly into this, yep.
Yeah, this Observer's not just chilling, so he's gonna die. If Tasteless was on top of that and like was actively watching the Observer as it flew in, he could have flew it out quick enough, but
yeah.
Because he wasn't looking, it just died. We're not mining gas in his natural either, it's Tasteless. Well, he is pretty high on gas, maybe he made it a bit too early.
starts more probes, but doesn't start mining. I like it. Very
But
Artosis-esque.
it's actually good though. Like it's better to make the worker and not send it to mine than it is just to not make the worker. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm happy seeing the workers like that, as long as they're being made. Okay, now right now, Snow is more or less holding supply with Tasteless, which generally indicates that the Terran is in a really good spot. So Snow is navigating his way through this game just as well in the first as he did in the first game. Bit of probe harass at the third base.
Looks like he may have only got one probe.
Yeah, but the thing is that he kept the vultures alive, which means they can still lay their mines. That's the critical thing. It doesn't matter if you don't get a lot of damage done, as long as you don't lose the vultures, because then they lose the value of laying down those mines.
I assume there's a Reaver in here again.
I'm assuming too. Like this little tank setup he's got here on right against the cliff. He probably wants to wait till like 6 or so tanks before he starts to creep out for his third.
Should play an additional game of ZVZ after the best of 5 ends. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay, another little vulture raid been coming out. There is Dragoons kind of split up around the map. So Tasteless is doing a pretty good job of like escorting his stuff around and making sure that there's nothing undefended right now. But 4 vultures against 3 goons. If he was quick, he could lay mines on top of these goons and kill them if Tasteless was slow, but it looks like he just wants to snipe the probe and get out of there. I like the mine setup from Snow right now. He's got mines in the middle of the map, and now that he just landed mines at the bottom of that ramp at the 3 o'clock as well, he's got really good vision.
Feels like we're taking the third with very, very few units right now. But
yeah, he did it when I thought he would though. He had more or less like 6-ish tanks, and that's when I assumed that he would try and take it. So I expected him to try it. But 2 speed shells going to go into the main base here from Tasteless, and there's not many turrets besides this one under the engineering base. So this could be a lot of trouble for Snow. He's a little bit out of position to deal with this.
Well,
and
it's
2
two
Reavers
Reaver.
popping onto the main base. So a lot of SCVs could be going down here. Okay, so far not so many actually. So far only like 5 SCV kills, 6 SCVs.
yeah, it feels like that could have been so much worse than it was.
Oh, that could have been way worse. He got so lucky there. Snow got so lucky there. He could have lost like at least 12 SCVs like it was nothing.
Losing
the
depots,
depots
which
are
is
going
kind of
down,
painful.
Yeah, losing this many depots is pretty painful. Like if he loses any, like what he's lost so far is like the limit of what he can afford to lose. If he loses anything else, it's going to really cripple his infrastructure, and he has to rebuild a lot of depots to even catch back up to supply. He can't really afford to lose any more depots. He needs to get... Oh, he's losing at least 2 more. Yeah, he's kind of supply blocked for a while now. Losing those 2 depots was pretty... Ooh,
Yeah, that's good. Very, very good.
Okay, that's good. If he just starts making like a bunch of depots now, that's actually pretty good for Snow.
Yeah, catching those 2 shuttles really kind of helps to like mitigate a lot of the damage that was done. We're no longer like in a terrible, terrible position.
No, yeah, that's actually... Yeah, if he had started making those depots a lot sooner, that he'd actually be ahead. But because he's not making a lot of depots right now, he's actually in a bit of trouble. He's actually in trouble because he's not making like 4 depots right now.
Yeah,
Snow can't make any units.
And this one's also burning.
Yeah, no, Snow's in trouble. He needs to make like 5 depots right now. Well, not 5, but 4.
Yeah, we're not really respecting... Here we go.
Yeah, but this other one's going to burn down, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of took more damage than he had to at this point, honestly. Like you said, start the depots immediately, drop 3, 4, 5 depots, right? And then we're good. But right now we're floating 1300. We're not making SCVs the entire time because of the supply block.
Yeah,
this is really, really painful right now.
Like the trade actually worked out better for Snow, but only if he had started the depots instantly.
Yeah. Oh, missed it, but it looks like there was a huge mon hit here.
Ooh. Yeah, look at Tasteless now running away with the supplies with Lovesnow being blocked for so long.
Yeah, we're floating almost 2k now.
This is about where Tasteless needs to be, so Snow's let Tasteless catch up a lot because of that depot block. So we're going to be going to Arbiter Tech as well.
Looks like we rebuilt a Reaver and a couple of shuttles here. Do we have... He tends to start his Arbiter Tech.
He's got double forge as well. I'm kind of liking this style from Tasteless. He's getting a little bit of everything. He's double dipping a lot in the tech tree and halving of what you can choose. I kind of like it, this style from Tasteless. A bit old school, and I think it's just the kind of thing he needs to kind of throw Snow off his game.
Still dealing with supply blocks. We're finally going to be busting out of the supply blocks. So, with 5 more depots coming down.
Wow, Snow has a lot of money, so there's if he can just find a way to keep growing, maybe he can still take this game quite convincingly. He needs to make sure he doesn't bleed off too many vultures with raiding, though, because trading vultures for probes when he's about to fight you is not always the best choice.
Right. It looks like we're just going to be going for a bust here soon. We still don't have light speed on our zealots, it looked like.
I'm hoping Snow doesn't fall into this trap of trading a bunch of vultures for probes. If he loses all these vultures for some probes, it's not good for him. Oh no, he's doing the... Okay, please get out with the vultures. Please get out with the vultures. Okay, he's killing all the zealots. That's actually pretty good. Oh my god, he's going to try and go for it. You might get quite a few probes here. Okay, quite a few probes are falling. There was some zealots blocking the ramp, which is stopping these vultures from getting in the main and doing a lot more damage. And nice storm from Tasteless, killing almost all of the vultures, and the scarabs picking up the remaining. This is what I was really worried about, just throwing away a bunch of vultures for some probes like this. Now Tasteless can just attack him and, well, at the very least, like, not be worried about being killed by the Terran while he expands in the bottom right quadrant of the map and sets up his own infrastructure.
Yeah, it was an okay trade for Snow. We got a lot of zealots and we killed a fair amount of probes. And we also killed one Templar. We shut off a lot of vultures, but it, like you said, it gives a lot of map control to Tasteless, so he can kind of expand, like you said, like uncontested now. So we can take bottom right like very, very safely. We're not worried about like a strong push coming right now or anything, because we did just bleed off a lot of units. Yeah, we got Arbiter on the way.
What do you think Snow's response should be from that? Like, do you think he should be trying to push hard right now, or do you think he should be trying to grow himself?
I think dropping a 4cc would be really, really good right now, to be honest with you. Like, if he can secure this position, this is like a pretty easy to... You essentially defend this position by pushing, right?
It's like Snow's going for round 2, like the exact same maneuver, killing the probes, now starting to kill the zealots and move into the expansion area again. This time going to be getting out with the... See, this is much more like it.
Much better.
This is much more like it. Much more like it. Get in, get some probes, get some zealots, get out. That's much more like it, Snow.
Yeah, this was a fantastic trade this time. Not even a trade, it was just
I need to get a cancel on the Nexus down here.
Okay, this is starting to look pretty good for Snow. We're definitely clawing our way back in with this. I would love to see a 4cc on the way, though, behind us.
Yeah, 4cc would be really great. So
we are maxed with 2-3 right now as well.
Why was Snow shooting the gateway? I don't understand, Snow.
I think we were macroing at home.
Yeah, if he just targeted down the Nexus, that would have been way better. You might still get it with the upgrades, though, because once the Vultures have weapons upgrades, they actually do kill buildings reasonably quick.
Well, I'd love for him to start his push behind this. We did unsiege, so I think we're getting ready to push. Wow. And we are 2-3 right now.
This is the horseshoe effect in full action. Because he was bad and targeted the gateway first, Tasteless didn't cancel the Nexus, so the Nexus finished, so he actually kills the Nexus rather than it getting cancelled. So, yeah. Artosis was right.
Okay, and we're in a... Like, this push is actually looking really strong again. We have better upgrades this time than last time. We don't have to worry about the armory counterattacking per se as much this time. We have, like, a much better defensive setup here than we did last game as well
But
for a
I'm really
counter.
liking. Oh no, Snow needs to be careful here. Snow's taking a bit of a gamble here by trying to walk all the way up to the high ground and then siege up. He kind of should have sieged up a few tanks at a time while keeping up onto the high ground. So as it stands, the Tasteless got on top of the tanks. Oh, beautiful storms from Tasteless! Oh my god, those storms. And now he's going to get on top of the reinforcements with the goons behind. Tasteless can afford to lose this base right now. It's not the end of the world if he does lose this base, as long as he cripples the tank count of Snow for it. Okay, but Snow did a defense matrix here, which is taking a long time to be finally killed off. So Snow trading pretty well still and keeping the supplies in his favor. So I think Snow actually can beat him. If Snow just keeps re-macroing and pushing the issue, maybe Snow can take the game right now.
Yeah, he needs to keep the pressure up though. Because we're going to be bleeding out. So we do have 4 CC, but we're going to 9 o'clock, surprisingly. I'm really surprised we're not going for 12 here.
I think taking 12 and putting his foot down on the gas is probably the play here, and keeping Tasteless under a lot of pressure.
Like, supply looks really good for Snow right now, and we have a little bit of a bank as well.
Well, Tasteless hasn't been able to get up this corner base.
Yeah.
Because of that play in the bottom right, like it's really kind of thrown Tasteless off a little bit. So it's like Tasteless wants to be moving his army down to the south, but then with he's gonna get the Nexus. It's only 30 HP. He's gonna get the Nexus.
I think he's clicking the Nexus.
Shoot the Nexus! Shoot the Nexus! Shoot the Nexus! Shoot the Nexus, please! Stop, please!
For the love of God.
Oh my god, no! Not like this. He's killing loads of probes when that Nexus had 30 hit points. There's like no reason not to shoot it. There's no reason not to shoot that Nexus. I actually slid out my chair, Azhi. I'm on the floor. Hang on.
Like I said, like supply is looking so good for Snow right now, though. The only concern is we're drying up right now. We're basically on one mining base that's almost gone as well.
I'm kind of impressed with Snow though, because he's doing this all on turn rate 12. So, props to Snow.
Oh, that's true. A better turn rate, and he would have right-clicked the Nexus instead.
Yeah. if the
We're gonna find this probe line going down here, and this is undefended right now.
Tasteless is in trouble losing this. Okay, this is a little bit too much damage for Tasteless, actually. Losing this is really painful. There's a lot of probes that just went down.
He's gonna go to deny 9 o'clock here. This is basically Lovesnow's only mining base at this point.
Oh, he loses the shuttle! No!
Oh, and he got the EMP. Good.
Tanks are sieging. The goons cannot quite get up the ramp in time as well. There's only like 3 siege tanks in position here, but it doesn't matter. With such a good position, they're going to trade really extremely well against these units. So buys more than enough time for reinforcements to show up, so the CC won't die. We'll probably lose a few tanks for it, but we cleaned up pretty much most of the Protoss army. We're currently like almost 100 supply ahead of Tasteless. I think Snow's done it. Now the Vulture's also going to be taking off the Nexus at the mineral only. I think Snow's won. I don't think Tasteless can recover from this position.
Yeah, Tasteless looks very dead. We're basically, we're not really mining very well. We're on one base.
There's nothing he can do. Tasteless, it's just not possible to recover from here. There's no way I can like make this seem like Tasteless can win anymore. Even now he's killing so many probes. Wow.
Yeah, his probe count's completely shot. This is all we have for probes here on this base.
Snow's making it look like game 1 was a fluke almost. Like you can't just outmaneuver me every game. Scanning up the ramp as well just to make sure. Okay, Snow. Okay, Snow. GG. Tying things up here, 1-1.
That was good. Good job. Good job by Snow. It was just kind of a re-roll of game 1 essentially, but without the screw up. We fought the army, we made sure we weren't dealing with counterattacks as much. The positioning also made it a lot easier to deal with, right? But again, just solid macro play 2 games in a row from Snow, I think.
That makes me think Tasteless is going to have to mix it up now. Surely Tasteless has got to be thinking like something else is on the agenda now. He's going to have to pull out his bag of tricks, I think, someone.
Artosis and what might cast? That's not going to happen. He's going to cast the replays, I think, is what I heard.
Yeah, he's going to be casting the replays. All right, going into game number 3. we've got our boy, the NA, last hope. It is Lovesnow. It's the red Terran. And his opponent. Is he going to be throwing out some crazy shenanigans? It's got to be at least a gas steal, right? It is not butter, of course. None other than Nick Tasteless plot. Look at that probe going out right at the start. Yeah,
Here we go. See, this is what we were waiting for.
Gonna be some proxy gate shenanigans,
Yep.
no doubt, from Tasteless. Where he makes them, though, I'm interested to see, is gonna be pretty close to Lovesnow, though. Maybe even in his natural, like...
Yeah, I'm thinking
right?
natural, right? With how early we sent this too.
I think so, yeah. With how early he sent it, it must be the natural. He's gonna make it like right in the minerals at the back in the natural. Oh,
Oh.
oh, no. Oh. Off to the side, outside. Okay.
Yeah, that does buy him a little bit of extra time whenever Snow, if he goes to scout, right? He won't be able to spot it, so...
Right.
Little
Yeah,
bit...
having it out here makes it a little bit harder to scout.
We're essentially just trading walking distance for a later scout, potentially.
Okay, so Lovesnow going to be setting up his barracks and supply depot for a little bit of anti-micro against the Zealots, so he's going to have some defenses dealing with this proxy
Oh, it was
gate.
Rax first. Yeah. Kind of metagaming the proxy potentially here.
Yeah, I think he's anticipating something here. Wisely so. Oh?
This is kind of a
Gonna be
fake gas
good.
steal, right? You do the gas steal and it makes it seem like they're playing standard, and then that's to try and get SCVs to jump on top of it. One thing I like, though, when I've seen like proxy gates before... Oh, we're actually going to scout the pylon as well.
Oh my god, we're going to see it.
Yeah, I've seen before with the proxy gates where they'll fake a gas steal to make Terran cancel an SCV to start gas.
What's he doing? Okay, you need to kill the probe first before you make that bunker, buddy. Okay, you're gonna have a little mini game of going back to make the bunker and keep cancelling to kill the probe, buddy? Like, why are you doing this yourself, Lovesnow? Okay. There's a way of making this work. No, there's not. Let's just cancel it and be sensible. I agree.
That's a little ambitious to begin with.
Yeah, I don't know what he was trying to accomplish there. Well, we know what he was trying to accomplish there, but with the probe, being able to deny the SCV building it, that was a little bit too much. Alright, so 2 SCVs killing the gas with the Marines. That's just about fast enough to get it when you want to take it. So it's a good choice from Lovesnow. He's going to have 3 Marines to deal with his first Zealot. Needs to shave off the shields really quickly if he wants to be able to buy himself enough flexibility while he tries to get this gas in his factory. Because until that time, all the tempo is going to be in the... Oh, but he shaves off a lot of shields off of that Zealot already. And with 4 Marines out... Okay, Lovesnow looking pretty good here with this early barracks.
Looking really good, yeah.
Oh, and he's got the Yeti. I talked to him about this. Yeah.
John's so excited.
Lovesnow and I have been talking a lot about TVP lately, and he's been impressing me. Okay, but this is a little bit risky. Yeah, exactly.
Risky,
Exactly, Lovesnow pullback. That's a little bit too risky there, buddy.
Confirm the 3 Zealots, which is really nice, right? We see how many Zealots are making. Unfortunately, we get killed before we get in, and we don't actually see the base. We're actually going to 2-gate core, so we weren't going to be expanding from Tasteless anyway. 3 SCVs here to help with the body blocking on the Zealots while we push out the fight.
Oh, he's going to slip out the SCV scout as well. I really like that.
Okay, we're just going to be blocking the front. Continuing Marine production. We have a really high Marine count right now.
I like that, though. He's aware that the Zealots are probably in constant production as well right now, so it's definitely wise to keep that Marine count up. Oh, he's going to be blocking this Nexus going down for quite a while, because he's not going to come back with the Zealots, right?
I'm not sure if Faceless was going to be expanding for a while, right? Because we are 2-gate anyway.
Well, in a way, he's kind of like forcing Tasteless to not expand and do some tech, and then he gets the SCV in to see what actually is going on, so... Either way, Lovesnow's happy, I think.
Up to so many Marines here.
Yeah, there is a Dragoon now that's going to start, like, poking away at the front, and I think Lovesnow's going to use that as a trigger to kind of shuffle out a little bit, like, nah, I don't want to stay inside anymore. Now that you've got a Dragoon, I think it's time to start pushing out.
Do you think he's going to go for a tank and push with this high of a Marine count? I feel like we have to, right, if we've committed this many Marines?
Well, with this many Marines, I feel like he has to, yeah. I feel like...
We're going to get a supply block here.
I mean, listen, each one of these Marines can tank so many shots from the Dragoons. The fact that he's starting his command center so much earlier than the Nexus, though, he doesn't necessarily need to attack, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we needed medics and stem. That's what we needed. That's gonna be DT.
ooh. Okay, we're gonna see DTs. Now, Lovesnow might, in his excitement of the early game, might just forget to make an academy or eBay or anything.
All right.
He could make mines. He could take mines.
I wonder if this is mines or sea. I feel like this is mines, right?
I don't know because
hard to
it's
say,
not
yeah.
necessarily. I think he would go tank here, so it might not be. It might be siege and tank. I feel like he would
Actually,
go
yeah,
tank
you're
here.
right. You're right. You're right.
He
100%.
has to go tank or siege here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Because he knows.
But Snow's gonna die to DTs, I think,
I think so too.
unless he starts like an eBay like very soon. Because even with the tank and siege, like he's gonna be repairing this bunker for a long time. He's already going to be losing a few hundred minerals
Siege is
from this
already
repair.
done.
From his repair build.
I think he's super dead to DT. We have no detection on the way at all.
Because think of it like this: he just spent a bunch of minerals on repairing, so the last thing in his mind is going to be spending even more minerals. Okay, so he's building. Is that in time?
The
It's not in
archive's
time.
just finished, so DT
Don't-
just started.
I don't think it's in time.
I don't think so
It's
either.
not in time. It's not in time. See, here's the thing: he just spent so much money on repairing that he couldn't even physically afford to make an eBay. Well, Tasteless just going to go anyway for pre-DT. Zealot's taking a lot of damage, and he's just going to target fire down the bunker. There's so many Dragoons here, and there's only 2 siege tanks. There's a lot of Marines soaking up a lot of shots, each Marine taking 4 phase disruptor shots from these Dragoons. And now he's going to start targeting down the tanks. He's going to get one
The
really
DT are
easily.
gonna pop out right behind this too, and there's
Oh,
no
this
way.
is so GG.
Yeah, there's no way during this. I love this attack from Tasteless because during this, it's 100% a distraction attack. He's not looking to kill him with this. This is the, hey, look, I'm fighting you with all of these units. By the way, here's a DT.
Yeah, and you were too busy dealing with that attack that you didn't even start making turrets yet. Have
Exactly.
fun dealing with the DT, buddy. Yeah, Snow's probably kicking himself right now. He just realized that there's going to be probably another loss on the board, and you probably shouldn't have had to been as well. It was such a good series of events for Tasteless there, forcing him to like spend so much money on repair. He can't even afford to make the eBay and turrets, and then the big attack comes in, distracts him, softens up the army, so there's not even enough units to kill the DTs if he did get a turret up as well. That's another thing to think about. Softening up the army means that the DTs probably won't be able to be picked off either. Wow, this is really great play from Tasteless so far. Getting a Nexus behind this as well, so even if Snow did somehow stabilize, it's still probably a pretty good situation for Tasteless. Oh, he's gonna get the factory.
Yeah, I think we're trying to get a desperate tank out here.
He's not going to get it. Maybe... Oh, he stopped targeting the factory. The tank gets out. The turret gets focused down. He's struggling. So there's no way.
There's
yeah,
no way.
There's no
Yeah,
way.
we're
There's
dead.
no way of making
We're
it.
dead.
Yeah.
It's one of those like kind of hold your breath moments, even though it's like completely hopeless.
Yeah. No, that's well over now. Like, Snow had a few % chance of winning a moment ago. Now he has a 0% chance of winning.
Yeah. And this is a macro play from Tasteless, by the way. We're double expanding. This is a macro game.
Yeah, yeah Ian by no means needed to kill him with this build. He just needed to do some critical damage, and he definitely got that.
Yeah.
It's a rough one for Snow, but it is butter. I think he probably expected something like this maybe would happen. I don't think he's going to be too shocked.
Yeah, and this is the kind of win I expected Tasteless to get, right? I kind of thought we win the macro games and then we lose a game like this. Yeah, I feel like Tasteless getting that first win is like a really, really big boon to his odds of winning here.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think that first game going Tasteless way is like set the tone for the whole series
Yeah.
in a bad way for Snow, because I think that Snow shouldn't have really lost that game number 1, and had he'd won that, it'd be really good for his tempo in these other games. So
Mm-hmm.
now we're on match point, so Tasteless only got to take him out one more time in these next 2 games. I wonder if he's going to be hesitant because it's match point, but I don't think so. I think he might still go for it. I think he wants to pick up a quick win here with a 2-fact, tie out the series 2-2, and then take it to another long macro game in game number 5.
Yeah, I think I don't think he's uncomfortable two-facting when it's kind of like pressure, right? Because he did that against me as well. Like I've seen him go for a lot of timing attacks under pressure. I actually think it's pretty comfortable for him.
Alright, well, let's see if he's going to 2-fact after all. Spawning in the 12 o'clock position as the red Terran, none other than Lovesnow, NA's last Terran hope. He's a pretty strong player, he's up and coming. Can he make a splash in the StarCraft world? Let's find out shortly. His opponent, spawning in the bottom left as the blue Protoss. You may know him from the famous cast that he does with his buddy Artosis. It's none other than Nick Tasteless Plot.
His intros are amazing. You know, we were thinking about maybe going back and forth, but Jean's a much better speaker than me, so fine. I concede. Whatever. It's not a competition for us.
I'm sure Azhi's intros would be pretty amazing.
They are amazing, but circumstantial, you know?
He's saving his voice for talking about nihilism.
Yeah.
Alright, so Snow's been doing a bit of homework on SimCity on this map. So I'm curious how he's going to set up. Because he has been adjusting his building placement a little bit as of late.
In what way? What do you mean?
He's been speaking a lot with like Unco and Wolfix and just adjusting his building placement on maps like this specifically because he wasn't quite sure, and he got a lot of good tips from some good Terran players on how he should be setting up.
That's how you get into the next game fast, by the way, Snows to lose. That's true. I think we celebrate too much when we win. That's the problem.
Oh, I've shit talked Snow a little bit in this series.
Yeah, we were just talking about the downtime after Snow won his game on Polypoid.
Okay, so nothing out of the ordinary so far. Pretty standard gas timings and openings from both players. Lovesnow going to be scouting in the wrong... Oh, no.
I think we're just checking for proxies, yeah.
Looked like it was going to go down to the wrong location to scout, but actually going to go to the right location.
It's going to be a 2-gate.
Yeah, I thought he'd do like a 10-15 or something like that, 12-15 sort of style.
I personally think 2-gate is really weak.
I think it's weaker in the current meta, maybe, yeah, but on a flat map like Sylphid, I think it has a lot of viability.
We are staying on gas. Ironically, if we go for a 2-fact, this is terrible against 2-gate.
And he's still mining that gas.
That's what I'm a little worried now.
Is he going to commit to it?
Surely not. We see the 2-gate and surely we back off of that.
He's still mining gas. Mining a lot of gas, Azhi. Mining a lot of gas, Azhi.
There's no way we commit to a 2-fact against 2-gate, right?
Well, don't count our boy out just yet.
I guess we'll see.
After all, this is the famous love throw we're talking about here.
Yeah. We're cutting a lot of probes, too. I mean...
You kind of have to cut a little bit to do the range and pure goon production of 2 gates. You could even go crazy and go for the 3-gate, but I don't think he'll do that.
What are we gonna do with all this gas? We're up to 350 gas now. This is like really suboptimal.
What are we doing with this gas? You gonna make proxy a factory over here? What are you gonna do? You gonna build a factory at 3 o'clock? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna build a factory at 3 o'clock, Snow?
I'm gonna call a starport.
It's gotta be a starport you're building over here. What are you doing?
What?
Okay.
Snow, So what's going on? We're scared here. I'm confused. We saw 2-gate, and I think we're really scared. We're scouting for proxies.
I have no idea what's the... It's just a really suboptimal opening. He's just gonna get, like... Mines or Siege right now? I guess he has to get Siege.
It has to be Siege. When it's 2-gate, you like have to go Siege.
Yeah, you have to.
I feel like it's kind of misunderstood a situation. He saw 2-gate and then we're scouting everywhere, and we're over mining gas so much right now.
Mining gas. He's not even started his command center. Like if that gas was minerals, he could have built that command center ages ago.
Dropping to eBay.
Oh no. Now he's gonna have to spend like so much minerals on repair again.
So the reason 2-gate is weak is because when you open 2-gate against, like, essentially you're shooting a bunker until Siege is out, and then your CC is way ahead. When you open 2-gate, your Nexus is not supposed to be before the command center.
No, he has got this SEV scout on the map, which can go in and confirm this Nexus and whatever else is happening, which is going to be important. But he's still not started his command center. This is really suboptimal from Snow. He's got all this gas banked up and still hasn't started his command center. He basically stayed mining gas when he shouldn't have.
Absolutely.
He was going to 2-fact and then identified the 2-gate. Didn't go 2-fact, but did not pull off gas and optimize.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what happened. We had a plan in mind, because I think 100% we were playing on a 2-fact. And then when we saw the 2-gate, it seems like we just completely misread the situation and kind of fell apart a little bit, to be honest with you. Yeah, playing too safe. Like, we're too scared.
Like, he's setting up all these turrets and he still hasn't started his bloody command center. Like, he's safe against DTs and stuff, but this SEV scout could have confirmed this Nexus earlier, and then he wouldn't have had to make all these turrets.
Yeah, we're starting our CC pretty much as the Nexus finishes against a 2-gate. This is tough. We're at 700 gas right now. Oops.
Yeah, this is really suboptimal. He's not even building a tank right now.
Snow, snow, snow.
Well, the one factory is okay. It's just the fact that he's so suboptimal with how he got here. He could have stayed on one factory for a while, but if he had optimized his minerals a lot more, we'd have more SEVs, we'd have probably an armory by now, we'd have the command center already done.
Yeah, I mean, our CC is going to be finishing when carriers are starting.
Oh, God.
This is a tough situation.
Oh, God, not like this. Alright, well, we're about to see a monkey tear off a human's face.
This situation looks absolutely hopeless for Snow. I really don't see any way into this game right now.
This is like the human thought the chimpanzee looked like a friendly fella, stepped inside the cage, and turns out the chimpanzee was not such a friendly fella after all.
Even if we immediately scan the carrier, I don't think there's much we can do about it because our eco is so weak right now.
It's really frustrating because I feel like Snow could have been in a much better position in this game if he just made a small adjustment to his gas and stuff and not played so safe. Even if he just took the guys off gas, even just that alone would have
made a huge difference. Absolutely.
Yeah. And now we're making a second gas, even though we've already got 500 backed up.
And we missed the carriers.
Oh no. Wait, is the core spinning? Did he see the core spinning or not? The core is spinning, so did he see the core with the scan or not?
Yeah, he would have seen the core, right? I think. I wasn't actually looking.
This is Lovesnow. He frequently like scans and doesn't actually look. You know what I mean? Like,
I think he only saw the gates. It was black. Okay, they're saying that he didn't see the core either.
Oh, great. Well, Lovesnow's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, we're dead.
All right. So here's the thing. If we knew these carriers were on the way, we'd have time to react. We'd know that okay, we got like a 2-3 minute window here.
It's Dragon.
But as it stands, we're not even going to know about the carriers until he's already making his 3rd and 4th carrier. Now, 2 carriers is not scary, but 4 carriers is when it's like, okay, they can start to fight. If he gets up to 6, then it's like, bad news bears for Terran.
Well, and the
Especially
thing that
on
makes it
low
extra
economies.
painful is we're not going to have any armor on our mech, right? We'll be plus
No.
1 attack carrier versus no armor mech, so the carrier are going to absolutely shred the mech.
Exactly, Azhi. We're going to have unupgraded Goliaths against upgraded carriers, and we're going to have only 3 factory worth of production. It's not going to be pretty. 3 factories versus 2 Stargates. It's not good.
Snow hasn't seen a third yet, and he was looking for a third, so it's possible he could sniff it out. We kind of need to just, at this point, we need to have started basically blind Goliath, which is pretty unlikely to happen.
Yeah, I'm honestly shocked that he agreed to play on Dynamic. I don't know why they couldn't just play on 16 or something.
We'll have 2 more scans soon. See if we happen to catch something. We started 1 Goliath. This is more of a
Wow.
anti-shuttle Goliath, I'm pretty sure, though.
Yeah, anti-shuttle, anti-observer Goliath. Nothing. He doesn't know anything about the carriers yet. Which is really unfortunate because if he did scan at that time, there actually might be a way of turning this game around. He would have had enough time to react. Oh, he sees it. He sees it. It's a little on the late side.
Tasteless texts the carrier, like, you didn't say anything.
He's already got... Is that 3?
It's 3, yeah, we got 4 and 5 on the way.
Oh, wow, okay. It's going to get real scary real soon here.
The problem is, it just doesn't feel like we can get our Goliath count up fast enough at this point.
No, he's throwing down factories now desperately after scanning that, but it might be too little too late. He's killing his own bunker now to enable some unit flow to be able to push
It's a
out.
best of 5.
It's a best of 5, and the Pros needs just 1 more game. Currently up 2-1 is Tasteless against Lovesnow. The supplies aren't looking too bad for Lovesnow if he can just get out a bare minimal critical mass of Goliaths, maybe get underneath the carriers, maybe he can make something work here.
I mean, we're going up to, like, mass factory. It needs to be only Goliath behind us who's bringing some SCVs for turrets as well.
But if he maintains his tank count and doesn't lose too many tanks and just pumps pure Goliath, he can make this work.
This is actually kind of possible now, yeah.
It's going to be a little bit rough. There is, like,
We're not
5
scanning ahead,
carriers.
though.
Ooh, we're not scanning ahead. But if we get on top of just 1 of these carriers and whittle its HP down low enough, and he is just doing that, 100 HP left on that carrier. If he gets
this
1
carrier?
carrier, it's going to be huge. Could be huge for Lovesnow, 50 HP left. There's enough tanks here to fight the goons. He just needs to keep reinforcing with as many Goliaths as possible. But he hasn't got enough Goliaths down here to fight these carriers. Where's this Goliaths?
Just don't have many on the map right now. Like,
Tasteless
Tasteless is
like
running from 1 Goliath right now, yeah.
Yeah, if Tasteless identified how few Goliaths were here.
Is this buildable terrain or no, out here? Can you start turrets here?
No.
No? Okay.
There's a few spots you can, like on the dirt on the left, but not there. There's just not enough Goliaths. He's like trickling into him with these Goliaths. Like
The
4
problem
at
is
a
we don't have
time.
enough gas, and we've only got 1 on our natural gas right now.
Oh no, he went from having too much gas to not enough gas.
Right?
He's
This
gonna
isn't
lose
gonna be
all
enough.
his tanks for free. He can't replace these tanks. If these tanks die, it's really bad. Okay, getting on top of the Goliath, get on top of the carriers of the Goliaths again.
We're on +2 attack on these.
If Tasteless overextends with the carriers and we somehow get on top of them and we can like pick them all off 1 at a time, maybe Snow can flip this, but he's losing so many tanks for free right now, it's not looking good, and there's still quite a healthy number of Dragoons in reserve.
Not mining this gas, because he just now fixed it. He just realized.
Wow. Yeah, it's really bad. He could have been producing so many more Goliaths than he has been. That's like 200 gas. Like, he's basically missed out on 4 Goliaths a minute for that entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 4 Goliaths a minute worth of gas. He wasn't mining. There's a carrier on like 30 HP. Maybe you can snipe that. It's dangerously low, but now the Dragoons are trading off the Goliaths, so if he just kept those tanks alive, was mining gas, could pump like 7 Goliaths at a time, this would have been way different looking. But as it stands, it's kind of a sad situation to be in.
Yeah,
Snow.
unfortunately, just I think the pressure got to Snow a little bit, and we made a lot of basic mistakes this game. CC goes down. We're on 3 base from Tasteless, dropping a 4th right now. Probably +3 attack coming on the way for the carriers versus no armor mech, so absolutely shredding the mech now. Will I interview the winner? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Snow's like drying up here as well. This is not sustainable. He's going to get mined out fairly soon.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like a few minutes left of production, then he's in trouble.
Yeah, I just don't see how we win from this position anymore. I think, like you said, there was a little bit of a chance, right? If we were on our gas right away, and we continued the Goliath production, kept all those tanks alive, then it actually seemed like it could have been a viable push.
Yeah, he had enough tanks there to keep the push going. If he just kept reinforcing with floods of Goliath 7 at a time, I think that was a winnable fight for him there.
Disappointed.
Well, we finally got some siege tanks back here, but there's just not enough of them anymore. And they can't support the Goliaths properly, so the goons are just going to have a field day. Nick Tasteless plot coming in with the Tofu army. Absolutely devastating everything in their path. They might not have any flavor, but they sure can get some stuff done.
But we Snow just has nothing going for him at this point. No upgrades, right? No starport, nothing like that. We're on 2 base. Tasteless is taking the entire map.
Yeah, Snow's about to be mined out in his main. It's not a good situation to be in. The Protoss is getting stronger while Snow is getting weaker.
This is a BM Nexus here, just way off. Just rubbing it in.
I don't even need to make my expansions on location. How many carriers have we got here right now, Azhi?
7.
7. Wow, that's pretty scary. This one that's fairly low HP. I mean, it's not out of the realm of impossibility that he somehow snipes a few carriers and turns the game around, but he hasn't got any tanks right now to fight the army. Just pure Goliath, you can't really fight these zealots and goons.
Yeah.
Got 2 siege tanks up on the false high ground.
I mean, we're trading pretty well. It's just we just don't have much to work with, and we have no economy behind us. Our main is mined out.
Yeah, it's like death by 1,000 cuts for NA's last hope. Terran, Lovesnow.
NA is doomed. Officially.
Yeah, I don't see there's much hope for them left after this.
Guess I have to swap to Terran.
Yeah. Someone's got to do it. Yeah, once these carriers get on top of the Terran production, there's not going to be a lot more to say for it. GG called by Lovesnow. Losing the series 1-3 to Tasteless. Valiant effort, but kind of crumbled there in game 3 a little bit.
But I mean, Tasteless played very intelligently. Like in game 1, I feel like Tasteless did exactly what he needed to do, right? To make the game kind of crazy and winnable for him.
Yeah.
Went for it again, and Snow kind of showed us where game 1 was heading, like the direction it was heading in. Kind of executed a bit better and crushed Snow in crushed Tasteless in a macro game. And then Tasteless whips out the cheese, the DT rush, the 2-gate, well, the proxy gate into 2-gate into DT rush. Snow initially defended really well, but kind of forgot to cover his bases, and we didn't get a turret up, unfortunately, and died to the DT. And then, as you saw in the final game, yeah, like I said, I feel like the pressure got to Snow. He made a few mistakes, and Tasteless just 2-base carrier.
Yeah, 2-base carrier, very strong build. If Snow had maybe scouted it, if that scan had seen the core spinning, maybe a different game, but unfortunately didn't see the core with the scan.